Hey there everyone, what a great day to finally record something. Just don't worry about that down there, I might have messed up the intro once or twice. For those of you who wanted to see the run continue after the speedforming is done, today's your lucky day, because we're not just going to be speedforming Russia, we're actually also going to be including the achievement Relentless Push East. And I guess there's technically also that achievement for forming Russia, but don't worry about that. And don't forget, at 50,000 subscribers, I will be speedforming the Roman Empire. But if this video can somehow make it to 3,000 likes, then I guess I could probably drop that down to maybe 45,000, I could be that generous. Alright, sounds good. And Iron Man as usual. But before we get into it, a word from the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is one of the greatest mobile games you can get for absolutely free. It has factions, it has lore, it has PvP, but did you know it also has over 600 playable champions to pick and choose from? That's a lot. For someone like me, the devil's in the details, and Raid has a lot of mechanics to learn about. Also, it's gacha. How could I possibly resist? Assemble your team to take on the newest boss, the Hydra. Each head of the Hydra has its own unique effects. The Head of Suffering mirrors some of the damage it takes back at you with Pain Link. The Head of Mischief steals the buffs right off of your champions and gives them to the other Hydra heads. And what else is new? Esports legend Simple is now a limited time champion you can get for free by simply logging in for 7 days between right now and January 28th. It's also the festive season in Raid with new activities, events, and tournaments. If any of this piques your interest, new players can hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to get the Epic Champion Vargas, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard to summon champions right as you log in. You can find me in-game as Quarbit, and if you're fast enough, you can join my clan. Be sure to click down below, and I'll see you in the game. So, forming Russia isn't actually all that difficult. All you have to do is integrate a subject or invade Tver. You can choose to invade Lithuania or Ryazan, and you just have to core Novgorod, all nice and easy. The only problem is admin tech 10, as per usual, but we'll be so involved with the eastern part of this campaign that we might actually be able to form the country this game. Who knows? But assuming the possibility that we're not able to do so, it's just as well that we should try and get all of the other requirements done as fast as we can anyway. Starting with the estates, we're actually going to go ahead and turn on our encourage development here, and we're going to put 1 click. Let's go with admin. That brings us to slightly over 30% crown land, so we can take religious state, primacy of the boyars, and land of commerce. The rest of the privileges look like this, and we can sell some titles with our tiny little bit of crown land we have left, and then seize some land back. We'll pick up Denmark, Lithuania, and Novgorod as our rivals, and as our first mission suggests, let's go to max force limit. Luckily for us, Novgorod has yet to ally up with Denmark, which they may or may not do, and we got ourselves a claim through an event, which is nice. So before they ally up with anyone else, I think it's a pretty good idea for us to go ahead and conquer them. I might also need a free company. We'll get a military advisor, and let's begin. Alright, now that we have max force limit, we can get ourselves this mission, and that'll give us claims that we can use during this war to actually take more land. Looks like the subjects aren't really doing too hot there. I'm just gonna ask them to siege instead. There goes Ryazan, who I will be taking a province from. Thank you very much. Whew, tough battle, but I think we're gonna be fine. There we go. There goes that siege. And there goes Novgorod. Now, I'm just going to do a quick test here. I'm pretty sure if I declare this war, Novgorod will no longer be guaranteeing Tver, but I'm not really sure. So, well, it looks like they're still guaranteeing them, which means I'm just going to have to break that manually. Well, that's okay. I really only want these provinces anyway, so we have some extra war score for that. And looking good. Let's start by plundering a little bit off of Novgorod. And now for the second war. So let's take care of these armies real quick. And we're off to sieging again. There we go. And yoink. Now you might think I'm crazy for not taking all of Tver. And you're right, but I need to save up admin because I need Tech 5 in order to get myself exploration ideas. Any normal Russian game would have you just play as Russia and use your Siberian frontiers to eventually get to Siberia. But because this is a speed form, we're gonna have to think outside the box a little bit. Anyways, once those cores are up, we will be ready to quote-unquote form Russia, if only we have the admin tech. And considering this will be done in 1449, that means roughly 5 years to form Russia. Not bad, but it's also very easy, so, you know, it's actually not that much of an accomplishment. The real challenge is what comes next. We're gonna start off by improving relations with No Guy, because there's a pretty decent chance that we can just ask them for maps if they're friendly with us. That's why I have this improved relations guy. I do also need a claim here, and the mission route takes a little bit too long since I have to convert those provinces. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to use some sort of claim. There we go, we can be friendly with No Guy, which will give us an alliance. We can kindly ask them to show us some maps of West Siberia, which does bridge this gap at least a little bit. And now that Poland has attacked Crimea, this actually gives us a fairly decent opportunity to go to war. We can call in No Guy for a little bit of extra assistance, but here goes nothing. Now we're gonna have to win this war pretty hard. It's not just these 3 provinces we have to take. If I want to avoid waiting a long truce with Uzbek, I'm also going to have to take this, and this, just to get across into Oirat. So we don't just have to win, we have to crush them. Well, on the bright side, we just captured Kazan, and we can get ourselves some professionalism for very cheap. And of course, as one good thing happens, an even worse thing has to happen as well. Well, this could be a bit of a problem. Yep, may as well get the mercs queued up right now. Well, actually, we're holding on pretty well, surprisingly. There we go, we can take Tech 4, and that'll help us out a little bit. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. Now, it looks like the war is sort of turning in our favor, finally. And now that No Guy is actually gone, that's perfect. Because it means we get extra war score, and we can peace out sooner. And now that that siege is over with, we are getting fairly sort of close to being able to finish what we need. Let's wipe these guys, there we go. And I'm starting to regret not scorching these mountains. Alright, just 29 reasons left. And of course they do. Well, I mean, hold on a second, that's actually pretty good. Well, we'll just see what happens. Well, this peace deal looks good enough to me. Not sure if I need this province. I know I'll be able to core this, but I'm not so sure if I'll be able to core the rest. I might require a direct link to my capital. In any case, thankfully it looks like we are good to go. Next up, let's ask for some maps of Mongolia. In a normal game, I would probably let this happen, but the resources taken by their occupation might hurt us a little bit too much in the short term, which is what we're playing for. Okay, we've taken back the province, so I can seize a little bit more land. And I'm hoping to be friends with someone in Europe, someone who might get the institution through the cardinal spread. Or maybe Bohemia, since their subject has a cardinal, and that's close enough. Now, we could wait, but money's looking a little tight, and we're not going to get a better opportunity than this when both of his allies are not willing to help him. Looks like Ming is specifically looking to conquer them and not make them a tributary, interestingly enough. All we can hope is that they, really don't make them into a tributary, or else that's when things get a little bit complicated. In standard AI fashion, it looks like Oirat has decided that, as the player, I'm the greater threat, and they've abandoned everything to Ming just to try and mess with my life slightly more. Truly inspiring stuff. And it looks like we're going to take some loans soon, so we may as well make those the good loans. It's also very important that we take the capital as fast as possible. If memory serves correctly, then that will prevent Ming from actually being able to tributize him, and that's pretty important right about now. Really? Again? Now all Ming can do is take some land and get out of our way, hopefully. There we go, exactly as planned. Let's also ask for a few provinces of Manchuria, just to take a quick little look. Hey, looks like we can get ourselves a little bit more manpower. And finally, we managed to capture this runaway army. Now we just need to siege down a little bit of Mongolia. By far, one of the most annoying parts of hordes is just how slippery they are. Whoa, this should be interesting. And rip. Well, this is a pretty rough battle in the mountains, but fortunately we do have the 6 shock on this general, which is incredible stuff. So it's not too bad of a battle. Not as great as it could be, but not as bad as it also could be. After what feels like forever, we can take what we need, which is just a straight line across from here all the way to Manchuria. Yeah, that's pretty cursed. But don't you worry, it only gets worse. It gets so much worse. There goes the capital, which means all we should have to do is take this last province. And we can take this next admin tech, which unlocks our first idea group. Naturally, we need to be able to see over here, and I don't think these tags over here are able to see Siberia. If they are, then, well, my mistake. But in any case, we are going to grab exploration ideas for that first little colonist. Now, it's not entirely clear whether or not we need to core this land, and I don't think we actually do. Which means all we have to do is put a colony in each province, and the other ones, of course, we're going to have to conquer, but that seems very doable. Okay, I'll take my one province, and I'll be on my way. Now, it's not entirely clear whether or not we absolutely require this province, but if I'm gonna core some of the provinces in eastern Siberia, like the Kamchadels for instance, I'm going to need enough coring range, and for that, we can either A, settle a province and wait for it to finish, and that's going to take way too long, or we can just grab a core that's, fairly close. And I like that idea better. Ideally, we finish this war without having to fight anyone, because I'm a little low on manpower and so is this merc stack. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we were lucky enough today. Alright, works for me. So, we finally reached the other side of the world in just under 20 years, which is nice. Now all we have to do is give this guy a conquistador, and since this merc stack is pretty much done for, I may as well get rid of it. We'll pick up a new one later on, but as for right now, we can't exactly afford him. Hello, would anyone like to share the Renaissance with me? Oh, maybe you would. We can give that a shot. And we've met our first friend out here in Siberia. We are going to have to wait until this core is done coring before we can put a colony here and claim their land, but we can at least get started with a spy network. And we can keep on exploring. For my own protection, I think I'm just going to queue up a few extra men over here, even if I don't need them. After all, I don't want to get attacked during this whole process, so that would be great, thanks. Alright, that core is done. Beautiful. And it looks like we're blocked off here by both of these tribes, but that's not really that much of a problem. We're gonna send this dude over here. It'll take him a while, for sure, yeah. But once he finally reaches his destination, we'll be able to put down a quick colony and claim this little piece of land right there. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, at least we build it pretty quick, so it's not awful, but, oof. That set things back a little bit. Alright, we can grab a claim, and in a few days we can declare a war. Alright, here goes. Fortunately, that also reveals the Kamchadels to us, so hopefully we can take both of them in one war, and if not, I don't even know. We'll figure it out. Well, this might just be the luckiest moment of my entire life. Ooh, that was a close one. Unfortunately, it looks like the Kamchadels might actually just be too far away. And that's even with the 50% colonial range, so not really sure what I'm going to do about this, but we'll figure it out, I guess, probably. Now, there is one possibility, and that is sending a colonist to the province next to it. Not really sure if that's going to work out, but it's worth a shot, since we do also need to get a spy network on this guy and attack him, so if anything's worth the shot, I imagine that would be it. Are you kidding me? For the 3rd time an heir has died. Oh my god. Unbelievable. I'm starting to think maybe we should have just let the pretenders win. Clearly, this lineage is incapable of living for like 10 years. You know, I didn't really think that was gonna work out, but I'm glad it did. Now we have a couple more colonies to be slapping down, and these take a very, very long time to get back to where they need to be, so we may as well get started on them. Oh my god, of course. Well, if this guy dies early, then, I don't know, Alt F4 or something. Well, that took absolutely ages, but at last we can finish this off. Looks like it's time for us to take a couple more loans, and yoink. Now, if we just wait a few days, and there we have it. The relentless push east. There you go, you can see right there that all you have to do is start as a Russian nation and then own the East Siberian coastline by 1600. It doesn't say how you have to do this, so I just decided to take the most direct route possible. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Within 30 years, wow, exactly 30 years actually, we were able to get all the provinces we need to form Russia. That only took 5 years, so that's not really that important. But we were also able to reach all the way over to East Siberia. The economy is an absolute mess right now, but let's not focus on that part. And instead, I'd like to extend the challenge to anyone who wants to try and do this faster. I figured this has probably been done faster by someone before, but it's such a ridiculous achievement to try to do this fast because it's absolutely meaningless, but it's a fun little challenge if you want to try this out yourself. Let me know in the comments section which nations you'd like to see me speedform, or if there are any other achievements you'd like to see a speedrun of, then of course those are also perfectly valid suggestions. Don't forget, if you enjoyed your stay here today, to leave a like, that would be hugely appreciated. This is Quarbit signing off on this speedrun, and as always, have a fantastic day. Big thank you to all the wonderful people up on screen, including Ben Greenhagen, Quiet Guy, Torvald, Bouncer Steve, Sean, Robert Coleno, Snow Raven, Chewy Shoot, and The Watcher. Patrons get early access to videos, so if you'd also like that, then the link to the Patreon is in the description below. And if you're looking for something else to watch, then I recommend these videos up on screen.